morning to all. I am Manoj Srivastava, Assistant Professor in Department of CSC in the Akgec Engineering College. And today I will be imparting lecture on R basics, which is a part of data analytics. And it is for the students who are interested in data analytics and analysis, and even machine learning students can go through it through this video lecture. And in this R basic, actually it is a programming language for the analysis of data and all the activities that is to be done into the business field and even in the technology field, where it requires some analysis work. This R basic, what will be the outline in this subject, this topic, that is why R and what is R paradigm, references, and R overview, interfaces, R packages. We will mainly thrust on the R packages, input output, and reusing of the results, because this reusing of the result, it is one of the important part of this data analysis, because this data analysis is done frequently and repetitively. That's why it is very important to reuse the result, whatever that result has been obtained into the different programming activities that has been performed here in this R basic language. Now, why R? So we already know that for data analysis and mainly for the business analysis purpose, that is report writing and optimizing the solutions and forecasting the solutions, means what will be the next or what will be the future trend. All those activities can be done here with the R programming very efficiently and effectively. One more important thing is it provides an unparalleled platform for programming new statistical method, and it is very straightforward that you can program, or even the person or the technical person who don't know basic programming of this R, he can very well versed with this R programming and can program it and write different programs for the analysis purpose. One of the main feature of this R programming is that it contains advanced statistical routines not yet available in the other packages. Other packages here indicates what? Means other programming languages for data analysis purpose. One more thing, it has important feature is state of art, that is graphics capabilities. This is one of the important feature, because this is graph is the only important activity that can be utilized for reporting and analyzing the work or historical work that has been done earlier, which can be further forecasted to get the optimized result or get the maximum output from there. If we see here, R has a steep learning curve. This statement represents what? Means this steep curves actually indicates that there are different activities in a data analysis, and this is R programming is the only field where we can do lots of things. There are so many advanced functionality and hundreds of users that contribute to these packages helps in making this curve steep. Actually, this steep curve is actually what? Means inclusion of different things, a contribution to this package R. It has lots of options. That's why a steep learning curve has been written here for this R programming. It is a comprehensive, and hunting for what you want can be the time consuming, and it can be hard to get a clear overview of what procedures are available. But here in R programming, it is very easily you can obtain this. The second reason is the more transient. Use a statistical package and think of different analysis. Each type of analysis can be done here or controlled here. When we run the procedure, the resulting output may be 100 pages long. We then sift through this output, pulling out what we need and discard the rest. So all these activities can be done here in this R programming. That's why R. Now we will see R paradigm, what actually it is and different from. Rather than setting up a complete analysis at the once, take the result and process it through another command for a set of diagnostic plots. Here diagnostic plots indicates what means plot a graphical representation. Process it through another command, that is cross validation. We can validate those activities here. The cycle may include transforming the data and looping back through the whole process. This is the important part here, means transforming the data, looping back and through the whole process again and again, so that we can reach to the optimum result. And in the last statement we see here, it is written that you stop when you feel that you have fully analyzed the data. This is the important feature of this R programming or R paradigm, we can say here. Means when a technical person or when a programmer gets satisfied, is fully satisfied through his data that he's got the maximum result from those data, then he can stop the working on that. This is the feature it contains in R programming. This is the URL where this R programming can be downloaded very easily for those who are naive user or those who want to start their programming, working on the program R programming. They can archive this network and comprehensive R archive network it is, and you can utilize this URL to get this R programming language. What are the these are the tutorials features of different authors. This can be utilized as a reference purpose, because only one material is not enough for any of the topic we are studying here in a programming. That's why there are so many authors. They have written their activities and programs into their books and PDF files format. It can be very easily referred and utilized those activities, and can be helpful to learn this R programming. These are the web links also, means online we can get this data, means R programming data here also. Data refers means R programming activities that has to be done into this programming language. These are the links that can be utilized. Now R, if we are talking about R, it is a comprehensive statistical and graphical programming language. I've already discussed in very initially that most of the time a technical person, a data analyzer, has to analyze data, and he should have a proper tool or efficient tool which can help them to work upon that. If it is a rigorous tool, or if it is a tool which takes time, or if it contains a tool, multiple tools which will utilize to work upon the different data, then it will be time consuming, and this is possible only with the help of R programming. That's why it is written that R is a comprehensive statistical and graphical programming language, and it's dialect of the S language. Earlier S language was there, and they are the period during which this S programming were introduced and worked upon, and these are the different authors that has worked upon in different S programming languages. Now initially this R programming was written by Ross, Akgec and Robert Gentleman at Department of Statistics of Auckland. So this is the basic you can say some overview of the R programming, when it was started and how it was started. In R programming, we can do most of the work on this command prompt, that is angular bracket, which is greater than symbol. Run a set of commands from a source file, and there is a wide variety of data types. We have already said that in this R programming, means any of the programming language, for writing a program code or syntax of that program, we must understand the basic part, that is data types, and also the different vectors are that is numerical character data and logical data, which is to be utilized in writing your different datas. Matrices, data frames, and list, all this can be utilized. Means in order to write a better program, we have to well versed with this data types and vectors and matrices and data frames and list. That's why R programming helps in analyzing the data very efficiently. This is an example of command prompt command, which helps. Means this shows that how simple it is. And simply to quitting from here, this R programming, we can write the first letter of the quit and a round parenthesis which represents method. When we will call this method and press enter here, we will get exited from this R programming. So this is a very simple programming language, that's why it is said earlier. Most of the functionality is provided through the built-in user created function. This is very important part here, built-in and user created functions. This user created function needs a good programming capability in order to write the user created function. Built-in function means what? Means it is already present there, all those codes are already maintained. Only you have to use, as earlier we saw here, that quit. For quitting out of this R programming, we use this method, that is q and round parenthesis. So for quitting, as this is actually a built-in method for exiting from this R programming. This has already been written, that's why it is called a built-in method. User created function needs what? A well versed means on what topic you are writing a particular function or method and what work it will do, that has to be decided by the programmer, and this will help in writing the better user defined function which can be utilized in the programming language. Basic functions are available by default, that is what it has been said here. Functions are contained in packages. This is also very important. If you don't know what package contain what function, it will be very difficult for any programmer to write efficiently the actual program what he needs. That's why in order to understand the functions required, we have to well versed with the packages, different packages. That's why in very initially during the outline time, I trusted on this package, that we will discuss package also, which will help in writing this R programming language. Key skill of R using R effectively is learning how to use built-in help system. This is important for the naive users, means those who are starting this program, working on this R programming, because they will need frequently some certain kind of help or from the help from the different teacher, which is not possible every time. So a feature has been provided here, that is help system, and this help system helps the programmer to write program very effectively and efficiently by simply finding out the required method or required functionality of the methods from this help system. Fundamental design of feature of R is that the output from the most of the functions can be used as a input to the other. Loop back it was there. Now when we will write a program, there is two types of version, that is R GUI and R console. R console, it is based absolutely on the command prompt based, and RGUI is a graphical user interface where graphical programmings can also be done very efficiently. Console window, the cursor is waiting for you to type some R commands. That is the important part here. Means we require commands, and if we don't know the command, we will not be able to write any activity or perform any activity in this R programming. That's why on console you have to understand, you have to well versed with the commands which are being utilized here in R programming. This is an interface of a Windows programming that is to be done here, and you can see here when you will install this package, you will see this first page is about the license, about the natural language support, about the contributions of different collaborators, loading of the different packages, all this activity will show, and finally you will see here a command prompt and the cursor is blinking over there. Now results of calculation can be stored in object using the assignment operator. This is very important. Equal character, that is assignment operator. It is this is an backward arrow, you can say, formed by a smaller than character and a hyphen without a space. There is no space here. No space is here. This means what? This operator represents assignment operator, which is very equivalent to equal operator. Both can be used here. The objects can be used in our calculation to print the object. Just enter the name of the object. There are some restrictions given. Object names cannot contain strange symbols. These are the strange symbols. This cannot be used. Dot and underscore. Here, underscore is actually whenever we write a character, no, this represents underscore. Are allowed. This symbol is not appearing here. That's why I have given example here. This is an underscore symbol. Object names can contain number of, but cannot start with a number. This is very important part. For any programming language, we cannot start with a number. Writing a variable, here object is mentioned here because R is an object oriented programming. It has not mentioned the name of the variable as a variable, but it has considered as an object. R is a case sensitive. X and X, these two both are different objects. That's why you have to be very well versed with this programming language. Now this is an example, certain sorts of example of R programming code. You can see here. This is an symbol represent means as a help statement, you can say, or you can say the statement that will not be executed by the program. We will use hash symbol and we will write the example. This is a variable or object which has been assigned with a number, array type number, that is starting from 1 to 10. Now here X has been compared with these two objects. Whatever will be the true, it will give you the output. And these are the way. See, if we will see the output here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 for this one. X is greater than 8, this represent what? X greater than 8 or X less than 5. So if you consider here for this case, the previous data, it is greater than 8. So this result has been given here. And this is the example how you can write different commands on the command prompt. This is actually a command prompt. Now some examples has been shown here how you can use. This is ls method used for, and these are the different functions. This is a object x2 y2 which has been assigned with the variables, and now ls pattern is equal to x, and it output has been printed here. Means what are the patterns of this output. Most functions of R accept certain arguments. One of the arguments of the function is ls is pattern. So this is accepting the arguments. Now if you assign a value to an object that already exists, and contents of object will be overwritten. New value. Now we will move similarly. This R is a case sensitive. We have already talked and given example that different objects can be represented differently. Pronounced same, but both are the different objects. Our workspace, we have already talked that GUI type and those. Now we will see, these are the examples. Some get and wd method print the current working directory. ls list the objects in the current workspace. Means earlier we saw that example. Means whatever workspace, means at command prompt, whatever we are working, that workspace can be represented here with the help of ls method. This set wd represents my directory, change my directory, and set wd, we can set this directory as a path or as a my directory path. There are similarly so many commands. This is a file handling process. Save a command history, save history. Means whatever command we have executed on the command prompt, that can be saved in a file by giving any of the user defined file name. Now we will see some packages. Earlier to this, we will see this R comes with a number of sample data set. This is very important part of this R packages. R programming data set. We need, if you want to work on the data set, we always need some data set. For R programming, we have data set. This data set can be accessed through this data method to see available data sets. What other? It will depend on which packages you are handling here. And help is already we saw that with the help of help command we can find it out what actually this represent. This data set means. Data set name means here. So all details can be active. And the R packages here, one of the strength of this R is that system can be easily extended. This is very important part. Functions and packages, those functions is so called R packages or R library. Interchangeably these two are used, R package or R library. R package may also contain other R objects, example dataset and documentations. R users, community and many R packages has been written and made available on the screen. This is very important. From where you can find it out, different libraries, R libraries, which is to be utilized in your R programming. Portfolio optimization, export objects to HTML, time series analysis, spatial statistics, all these are activities are found in these R packages. When you will download R, already a number of around 30 packages can be downloaded as well. And next time we will see the graph activities that is to be performed on the R programming languages. How those graph can be created or can be utilized for analysis and reporting, that will be seen, and different methods we will learn about the R packages in this programming language. Thank you so much.